welcome back to KXAN Plus. I am your host, Esmeralda Zamora, and if you're watching us live, happy Sunday, but if you're not, thanks for joining us. Remember, you can watch on our social medias, you can watch on our website, our mobile app, and now you are able to watch on any streaming platform. That's Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and Samsung TV. To watch shows just like the one we're about to do here in the KXAN Plus studio. And our show today is Weather Answers with Rich Segal, our KXAN meteorologist. Thanks for joining me, Rich. How are you doing?
It's a good day today. We've got rain. I'm not going to have any blistering heat today. On the monitor behind you, you can see the drizzle drops on the Austonian weather camera.
You can barely see the skyline because of all the rain.
Exactly. And so this will be the final day of rain for a few, because tomorrow through at least Saturday, we're going to be dry and getting hotter.
Yes, and unfortunately, this is just a little taste of autumn, right? This rain and this cooler weather.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. Even yesterday, I walked outside to throw some trash in my house, and it was really breezy in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Cold front came in.
It's nice.
Not a blue norther like we talked about here a few weeks ago, because the humidity didn't drop off at all, hardly at all. But it did give us a north wind, and so it brought a little bit of drier air to the area.
Much needed drier air. So today we're going to sit down and answer a few viewer questions. That's what we do here on Weather Answers with Rich. And I'm going to pull up that first question so we can just get going. That first question is, it seems like the Austin area is quite impacted with Arctic blasts that weren't typically common in decades past. I know they happened, but they seem to be happening multiple times a decade rather than once a century. Why is that?
I did some research on this, and what I found is, in a planet that continues to warm thanks to or because of climate change, we see that at times the polar vortex, which surrounds the poles, the North Pole and the South Pole, has a tendency to weaken. Now, the polar vortex, low pressure, again, surrounding the North and the South Pole, swirling mass of cold air. And what it's designed to do, as you can see on the graphic, is those strong high-altitude winds are contained when the polar vortex is strongest. But when there is weakening, then there is a tendency for parcels of that colder air to get dislodged. Now, the polar vortex itself does not move, but the air surrounding it does move, and it travels through Canada and on through the United States, and it heads on down here. And of course, we've had those two instances where we've had sub-freezing temperatures back in 2021, 2022. So this is why it's happening. As the planet continues to warm, you're seeing less of an ice cap. You're seeing a lot of melting there. But it really is a weakened polar vortex, of weakening of that area of low pressure that surrounds the poles that sends this cold air down here occasionally. And when it does get, when the polar vortex is weakened, we have a little bit of a concern because of the cold air and how it affects people here in central Texas.
And how prepared we are to feel that cold air come here, right?
Yes, exactly. So that's part of the reason for it. A lot of it, again, having to do with the fact that our planet continues to warm.
Yes, and is that something that we're going to continue to see into this winter that's coming up?
Can't say for sure. You can never suggest that. It's too hard to predict.
Yeah, but it's never a bad idea to prepare, right? Always be prepared for
something.
We'll
let you
like
know
that.
If it's going to happen. Right now, it's too soon to say because it hasn't really developed yet.
But we do know kind of an outlook of what we will have this winter. Are we having El Nino or La Nina?
We are in a La Nina watch, likely having a La Nina as we get into especially December, January, February.
Yeah. And we have a few articles related to that on our website, KXAN.com. So if anyone is interested in reading up a little bit more on what that actually means, you can visit our website. Our second question we have for you, Rich, is Austin finished with 100-degree highs?
From the cold to the heat.
This is a popular question around the newsroom for sure, right?
Oh, I'm sure it is. Okay, it's not moving. It was moving when I walked in here.
It's okay.
Oh, my goodness. It's either someone is back in the weather office messing with this, but it was moving just so nicely when I walked in here.
It's too early for technology right
No,
now.
it really is. I'm wondering if I have time to go back to the weather office and get this thing to work. Let me do this. Let me try doing this one more time.
I'm gonna pull up an article. So if you want to
Yeah,
go to the weather
why don't you do
office,
that and let me
yeah.
go back and try to figure out why this is not doing what it was doing when I. Oh, there we go. I've got it
Oh,
to
we
move.
got it.
All right, so here we go. The triple digit count so far in 2025 has been 20. No, in 2025 has been 21.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The average last day of triple digit heat for Camp Mabry is August 30th. So we've passed that, and we have had a couple of days here in September where the temperature has reached triple digits. The last 5 years, we've seen triple digits go into October. Last year, October 13th, we had, and it was the only triple digit day that we had in October. The previous year was September 24th. 2022, it was the before the actual average final date. In 2022, it was August 20th, and then 2021, 2020, September. Now, the latest 100-degree day, and I'll look to a couple of years where we did have triple digits in October. 2011, that summer that we had 90 highs of 100-degree weather or hotter, September 29th. So all of this to say that we average 3 days in September where we do get 100 degrees or hotter. We don't have any triple-digit high temperatures in the 7-day forecast. The highest I have is 97 on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'm suggesting here that we may not be done with triple digits just yet because summers seem to last a little bit longer here
In
at home.
Texas, yep.
Yep. And so I'm not going to say we're completely done yet. Maybe by the end of this month, we can safely say we're done.
We're done.
Yeah.
Wow. You're right. The start of this month, we did feel the triple digits, and that first slide that you showed with the prediction, was it the prediction or was it the
It's the actual count.
one? Okay, so what did you predict at the beginning of the summer?
58.
58?
I did it because there was some guidance that directed us to some higher numbers. Tommy House predicted the fewest. He predicted 38, and so he will win. He thinks he's getting a T-bone steak out of it, but
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. Maybe some chips and salsa and a margarita.
Ooh, that sounds better, honestly. It is weird how most of our meteorologists predicted more hot or more triple digit days, but this summer it felt like the least hottest we've had in a while, right?
And same thing happened last year too.
It's been a little bit cooler.
We were underwhelmed by the number of, while our guesses were over the final number. I can't remember what it was, but guidance told us that a very stubborn ridge of high pressure was going to set up in the area,
Yeah.
and it just never did. It seemed to be a little more prominent in August, where we have had the most triple-digit numbers. We didn't have any triple-digit heat in June. We had a few in July. We had a couple in May. But right now we're sitting at 21, and hopefully that'll be the last.
Hopefully
I'm
we
ready.
just reach 25 and that's it.
I'm
right?
just ready for I'm just ready for the autumnal equinox to happen
autumn.
and the autumn air to settle in.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited for that season. We are not done with these questions. They keep coming. Our question 3 is: I heard Tommy mention invest in the Atlantic. What does that mean exactly?
So this is what the National Hurricane Center folks have named storms that they are investigating. And invest means investigation. They usually will look at this when there's an area of disturbed weather, characteristics being the moderate to heavy rain, thunderstorms, winds, developing into an area of low pressure. The invest is given a number. The latest one, I think, was 96. This may or may not develop into a tropical depression or a tropical storm or a hurricane, but they look at this in advance of the potential of storms and hurricanes to develop. And we see this in the Atlantic. We don't have anything in the Atlantic right now. We have one hurricane in the Pacific, Kiko, that'll menace Hawaii. But for invest, it just means it's a system that the National Hurricane Center is investigating. It was a good question, too.
Yeah, I heard him say it a couple times, and it sparked my brain to say, what is that? What does
Yeah.
that mean? But
Investigation.
yeah, short for investigation. And how many of these have we had this hurricane season?
Well, each one of the storms that we've had has been investigated, and so we are at the F named storm as being the latest named storms. We've had 6. They did not investigate the system that was in the Atlantic over the past few days, which is now completely gone. So we're still waiting for the 7th named storm, and we're fast approaching the peak of the hurricane season, which is this Wednesday.
Yeah, a lot of people think that hurricane season is over, but we're barely at the peak of it, right?
That's correct.
And our 4th and final question, Rich, is I thought Hurricane Lorena was going to send rain. Why didn't it?
Well, in fact, it has. And the rain that we're getting today is part of what Lorena used to be. Lorena was too close to the Pacific coast and the Baja coast. So its proximity to the coastal sections of Mexico and especially the Baja resulted in temperatures being a little bit lower than they would need to be for the storm to maintain its strength that it had in the beginning. But as it continued to move up the line, it encountered some colder water so that it did not last too terribly long. Winds in the upper atmosphere were not favorable for it at all. But tropical moisture still has to travel somewhere, and the flow aloft came from the southwest to west. So that moisture started to move into the area yesterday, gave us the rain that we saw. You know, we had some 2 and 3 inch rain totals in the hill country yesterday. And that rain that we're getting today is the remaining tropical moisture in the upper atmosphere from what was Lorena. And then we've got the moisture coming in at the surface as well. But I'm loving this rain right now.
Yeah, I'm loving it too. I'm about to pull up a live picture of it. Let's see if we can grab that. Give me 1 second. Do you have any plans for today, Rich?
Football.
Football. It is Sunday. That's right.
Maybe go ride the bike at the gym and watch football.
You know, I think.
Look at that.
Yeah,
yes.
there
Isn't
it
that
is.
wonderful that we always enjoy? Yes, is coming from that.
Wow. So there we have it. We have a few drops out here in Austin. I think this was the perfect weather for us to have for the start of football season, right?
Yeah.
We had
a little rain yesterday over at DKR. I know this because Kristen told me that it rained a little bit over there.
So a little bit chilly and some rain.
Yeah.
Perfect for some football weather.
Yeah.
We are not done here, Rich. We have an article that you published this morning. Tell us about this article.
All right. Our partners, our media partners at Climate Central did a study on fall warming. You know, we have seen summers lasting a little long. This all comes about, and the reason it's timed right now is that we are in that time frame known as meteorological fall, which is different from astronomical fall. Meteorological fall starts September 1st and ends on November 30th. The meteorological community uses 3-month increments to determine seasons. So winter is December, January, February. Spring is March, April, May. Summer is June, July, and August. It's more convenient for record keeping because you know the specific number of days that these seasons have, except for meteorological winter because you have that extra day on February 29th every fourth year, as opposed to astronomical seasons, which have to do with the sun and the earth. Now, their study surveyed, if you look at the map that I've got pulled up, right there, you see it says fall warming since 1970, and every county that they have counted in this survey has seen warming of anywhere from 0.01 degree up to as much as 4 to 5 degrees. And we're seeing in that darker shade of red in Texas from Midland to El Paso on into parts of New Mexico and Arizona, and then scattered throughout the western part of the country, especially in the Rockies. But what intrigued me was we see that darker shade of red in upstate Minnesota, where you normally wouldn't expect to see that significant of warming. And then in upstate, well, not just upstate, but most of Maine and other parts of New Hampshire, Vermont even, and it looks like Massachusetts, where we have seen significant warming. And the study, the survey goes back to 1970. And then as you scroll down, we included a little bit about Austin. Austin warming since 1970 has increased, and this is an average temperature incorporating highs and lows by just under 4 degrees. And if you'll scroll down a little bit further, you can see that the number of more warm fall days has increased by 22 over the 50 years since statistics for Climate Central have been used. So they go back to 1970 as their baseline as to where they start their surveys and studies.
Nice. And here you have a graphic of just kind of some keep in mind tips.
Well, what this says is these are the negatives that are potentially
Come
possible.
with autumn.
For example, the allergy seasons that will last a little longer. So will the mosquito seasons. The wildfire seasons could perhaps be a little bit longer in a few parts of the country. There's a delay in the Northeast and in other parts of the country for the fall leaves to change color.
Wow.
And sometimes those colors are not as vibrant. This is something that they have determined based on the observations that they have made. But personally, I'm in love with the autumn season. First of all, I'm in love with the word autumn as opposed to fall, but that's nothing new. People have known that for a while.
Autumn is a pretty name for someone, too.
It is. It is. But I love sweaters. I love wearing my sweaters, and when it's this warm out, this hot out, sweaters are of no value to you.
Nope.
Well, for some people.
Unless you're ready to sweat.
Well, we go from sweater weather to sweater weather.
Yeah.
As I said in the article, SWEAT -ER. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's definitely what the start of autumn feels like here in Central Texas. It's not sweater weather just yet. I think that our months are kind of different from meteorological months. I feel like our winter starts in January, not in December, right?
Correct.
Here in Texas.
We seem to get our coldest temperatures in January and February, not so much in August. But then again, meteorological winter starts in December 1st. Astronomical winter starts around the 20th or 21st with the solstice.
True. So technically we are done with summer, but we're still feeling those temperatures. 100-degree days, you say, are going to continue into the rest of September.
Maybe.
We have chances for rain. As you can see right now, we have rain in Austin happening right now. What can you tell us about the rest of the week?
Hot, hotter, hotter.
Dry?
We'll be in the 80s today. We'll be in the low 90s tomorrow. My forecast says mid 90s on Tuesday and then mid to upper 90s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay. 97.
97.
It's rather consistent right now. I won't be surprised if a couple of those days do get even hotter than that. But for now, all the numerical models are telling me that mid and upper 90s, about 94 to 98, look pretty good.
So we've got a hot week ahead of us.
Yes.
It's only Sunday. Week. Yeah, it's only Sunday. We're starting off strong with a little bit of a cold front, and some rain. And then it's going to be hot and dry, as it always is here in Austin. Rich, thank you so much for joining us. Before we go, some of our viewers are watching on Facebook live on socials, as well as our website and our app. But there is another handy-dandy way that our viewers can watch our Weather Answers with Rich show. And how can they do that, Rich?
Apple TV, Fire TV, Roku, and Samsung.
There you have it. In the App Store, you can download the KXAN Plus app completely free in those streaming platforms, which is most of them.
I wrote it down this time.
Thank you for joining me, Rich, and
You're
we
welcome.
will see you next week.
Thank you.